You notice the patterns. At first, it feels like a coincidence, like nothing really matters. And then you see it, not as a lesson, not as a story, not as something to analyze. You just see the same reactions, the same pulls, the same emotional loops. They are obvious now. They've always been there. You were inside them, unaware. Now, awareness rises, and suddenly you can't pretend you don't see. Awakening doesn't create these patterns. It doesn't cause them. It doesn't fix them. It just exposes them. You are living inside the loops unconsciously, reacting, repeating, moving through life without noticing. Now you see, and that seeing is heavy. It presses. It isn't comforting. It isn't uplifting. It's raw, direct, undeniable. Most people talk about awakening as if it's light, as if it's peace, as if it's some stage you reach. It isn't. It's awareness noticing itself. That's all. Awareness doesn't explain. It doesn't interfere. It doesn't comfort. It just registers. And what it registers are patterns. Repeated in behavior, in relationships, in emotional responses. You notice yourself before you even react. You feel the pull of attachment. You recognize the loops you have been repeating. You see the familiar collapse in yourself, the same mistakes in others. And for the first time, maybe you don't intervene. You don't fix. You don't judge. You just notice. That noticing is awakening. And awareness goes further. You see the subtle patterns in how people relate, the dynamics you have been avoiding recognizing. You start to understand why you have always felt drained, why certain situations repeat themselves, why the same kinds of people keep showing up in your life. Not as insight, not as analysis, not as psychology, just as raw registration. You see it, you feel it, you register it. This is heavy, it presses, and is necessary. Because before awareness, you were the pattern. Now you see it, you are inside it, but you are not swallowed by it. You don't need to act. You don't need to fix. You don't need to escape. You just see it, fully, directly, completely. And as you see it, something subtle changes. You stop being unconscious. You stop moving purely on habit. You may still act the same way externally, but internally, something shifts. Awareness is present. Awareness registered the loops. Awareness watches the pull without being pulled. This is awakening in action. It's not about changing your life instantly. It's not about enlightenment or special knowledge or peace. It's about noticing yourself noticing. And that noticing reveals everything you have been blind to. The repetitions, the loops, the pulls. You can see them as they unfold without being consumed by them. It's uncomfortable, heavy, sometimes frightening. Because the world doesn't soften, people don't change for you. Situations repeat. But internally, something shifts. Awareness is here. You are here, fully. And once you start seeing patterns clearly, you can look at relationships differently, not as lessons, not as experience to process, not as things to fix. You see them as registration. You notice the pull, the repetition, the habitual reactions, and you remain present. You don't have to escape. You don't have to explain. You don't have to judge. You just watch. Awakening is subtle. It doesn't feel dramatic. There's no climax. There's only presence, only awareness, only registration. You see yourself reacting. You see your tendencies. You see repetition in others. And awareness keeps watching, unflinching, silence, heavy. And when this awareness grows, the world feels different. Nothing outward changes, but internally, you're not the same. You feel lighter in a strange way, even though the weight of awareness is heavy. You feel more grounded in reality because you're no longer unconscious inside your own patterns. You are awake enough to see them as they are. No story, no judgment, no teaching, no explanation. Just awareness noticing itself, noticing patterns, registering life as it unfolds. And that is the essence. That is awakening. You sit, you breathe, you notice, and you continue noticing, moment after moment. No ending, no solution, no advance, just presence, just consciousness, just awake, naked, here.